Okay, if you're ready now, just settle back into that comfortable position and gently allow those eyes to close. As you do, take a deep breath in and hold it. Now, let that out slowly and evenly. Now take another deep breath in and let that out slowly, all the way out. Very good. Now one more deep breath in and hold it. And let it out slowly and evenly, all the way out. Very good. Now I'd like you to listen to the sounds that you hear, inside and outside. Just kind of separating one sound from another. Just noticing how each sound can have its own space or location. And notice how each sound can have its own soothing quality, one that serves to relax you even more. Very good. You may even notice some sounds that you didn't notice before you began to pay attention here. Now I'd like you to return to that breathing. No need to change your breathing. Just notice how good it feels to draw in a breath. And notice how good it feels to let that breath go. And some people can even see their breath in their mind's eye, like a mist or a vapor, coming in and going out. It's like you can see yourself breathing in comfort and breathing out any tension or stress. And every in-breath can have its own soothing color, while every breath out can have another color, one that represents the release of any tension or stress. So you can see yourself breathing in comfort and breathing out any tension or stress. Very good. Now, as we begin, the first thing I'd like you to do is just imagine yourself the way you want to be. Right there in your mind's eye, just about eyebrow level. See an image of yourself in sobriety. That's right, see an image of you looking the way you want to look, feeling the way you want to feel. That's right, and acting the way you want to act. Very good. Now, keep that image nearby and just continue to follow that breathing so that you can become more and more relaxed with every breath you take and every beat of that heart. just allowing yourself to become more relaxed and more at peace. Well, now I'd like you to focus on those eyes for a moment, just allowing all the tiny muscles around the eyelids and the eyebrows to relax. Allowing all the tiny muscles around the forehead and the temples relax. And right about here is where I like to remind people that in order to get the most out of these sessions, all you have to do is want it to happen, and then just let it happen in its own time, its own way, whatever way is the right way for you. Indeed, you can even help it to happen by not trying too hard and employing that imagination of yours. That's right. And I'd like you to imagine something right now. I'd like you to imagine that those eyes are becoming so relaxed, so at peace, that they just won't work. That's right, even though you know and I know you could open those eyes any time you chose, you're going to pretend that they're so relaxed and so at peace, they don't want to work at all. It's like they're comfortably sealing themselves shut, as if they have some imaginary glue they can use to glue themselves shut. And some people even imagine that they have tiny little lead weights attached to the lids of those eyes, tugging downward very gently, causing those lids to grow heavier, more quiet and restful. And there's one more very powerful yet very simple thing that you can do to deepen this relaxation even more. All you have to do is to defocus those eyeballs behind those lids. That's right, just let go of the focus. Noticing how that can double or even triple your relaxation. That's it. And the relaxation developing so nicely now in those eyes can begin to spill down into the cheeks like a wave of comfort emanating from the eyes, flowing down through the cheeks into the jaw muscles. A wave of comfort flowing down the jawline, filling up the chin with relaxation, and relaxing the mouth and the tongue. And that wave of comfort can flow through every cell and every fiber in that face now. That's right, all the way up into the scalp and over the top of that head. A wave of comfort spilling down the back of the head, down into the neck and shoulder muscles. A soothing wave of comfort and peace, filling up the neck and shoulders. And spilling down into the upper arms, down into the chest and the back. A warm, soothing wave of comfort, flowing downward toward those fingertips and toes down there, soothing and comforting on the inside just as much as the outside, flowing through every cell, every fiber on its way down. Flowing through every tissue, every organ, just washing away any residual tension or stress. Flowing downward through every bone, every muscle, fully involved in that wave of comfort and peace. Flowing all the way down to those fingertips and those 10 toes way down there. That's right. Very good. Now I'd like you to recall that image of yourself in sobriety, the way you really want to be. Sober, healthy, and happy. That image of you physically feeling the way you want to feel, and realizing that underneath that, to support that sober image that you really want, is good, positive, physical health. And I can't help but wonder, can you also realize that by feeling the way you want to feel, looking the way you want to look, sounding the way you want to sound, and behaving the way you want to behave, you will have more energy and you'll be healthier than you were before. That's right. Very good. And I'm reminded of a time not so long ago that I'd lost my way. And I stumbled into a room looking for direction. And in this room were several people sitting around a table. And they were laughing and talking about being happy, joyous, and free. That's right. And I had walked in right at the time when the oldest person in the room stood up to talk. and his topic was reasons I don't drink. And this man seemed to be very wise. So I listened intently before interrupting to ask for my direction. He stated, I drank for happiness and became unhappy. I drank for joy and became miserable. I drank to be outgoing and became self-centered. I drank for sociability but became argumentative and lonely. Because alcohol is poison to me. I drank for sophistication and became crude and obnoxious. I drank for friendship and made enemies. I drank to soften sorrow and wallowed in self-pity. I drank to prove my masculinity, and it sapped my potency. I drank medicinally and got sick. I drank because I thought my job called for it, and I lost my job. Because alcohol is poison to me. I drank for relaxation and got the shakes. I drank for confidence and became uncertain. I drank for courage and became afraid. I drank for assurance and became doubtful. Because alcohol is poison to me. I drank to stimulate thought and blacked out. I drank to make conversation and tied my tongue. I drank for warmth and lost my cool. I drank for coolness and lost my warmth. Because alcohol is poison to me. I drank to feel heavenly and came to know hell. I drank to forget and became haunted. I drank for freedom and became a slave. I drank for power and became powerless. I drank to ease my problems and saw them multiply. I drank to cope with life and invited death or worse. Yes, I drank because I had the right, and everything turned out wrong. But by the grace of God, I don't have to drink today. And as the wise man sat down, I had the strangest feeling. That's right. It was like I had found my way home, even though I was in a place I'd never been before. Very strange. And I chose that time to interrupt the group. I told them a little bit about how I lost my way, and that I just stopped in to ask for some direction. And they all smiled at me, and almost in unison they said, "Keep coming back. We're glad you're here." And as you relax even deeper, It reminds me of another wise man I met once, and he talked about how many people hold themselves back from being who and what they really want to be, because old feelings and memories are holding them back. Things that they did, or sometimes things that they didn't do, and sometimes even things that they had no control over either way. But they took the responsibility. And the wise man would say that responsibility is great, because responsibility is the ability to respond. And you have that ability to respond in any way you choose to any situation. And just because you've chosen one way in the past, it doesn't mean that you have to continue that way in the future. And when he said that people had guilt or shame or remorse for things that they did or didn't do in the past, he said it was interesting, because when you thought about these things, these feelings, could you touch them? No, of course not. Could you really see them in a physical sense? No. Could you hear them? Only in your mind. And yet you could see the response from these feelings on the inside of people. All because of what happened or didn't happen on the outside. That's it. And many times they put brick upon brick. They built thick walls to keep the outside out or the inside in. That's right, to wall themselves off, to try to protect themselves. That's right. Good. To try to protect themselves, or maybe, just maybe, they would use these barriers to protect themselves from the bumps and bruises of the world. But until they were really ready to let go and tear down these walls, they had to accept the consequences. They had to accept the responsibility to only be responsible for themselves, and to let go of the responsibility for what other people see or feel or think or hear. They're only responsible for themselves. That's right. Very good. And go deeper and deeper now. Deeper and deeper. It can be like answering a siren unto yourself. And as you go deeper, with every breath, every heartbeat, going more relaxed and more at peace, I'd like to imagine, as the wise man said, that you need to let go of those feelings. You need to let go of those memories that are holding you back. That's right. Very good. And you now have become so deeply relaxed, so relaxed that your unconscious mind, the back part of your mind, has become very alert, very sensitive and very receptive to any of these suggestions that make good sense to that part of your mind. So sensitive and so receptive that anything that is accepted by that unconscious mind will sink deeply into that part of your mind. It will make such a deep and lasting impression there that nothing will erase it. So deep and so lasting that nothing will erase it. Because in this condition, that unconscious mind, the back part of the mind, comes to the forefront, readily accessible to these suggestions that make good sense to that part of your mind. So that if they sound acceptable to your unconscious mind, these suggestions that we put there will begin to exercise a greater influence over the way you think, over the way you feel, over the way you believe, and yes, over the way you behave. And because these things will remain firmly embedded in that unconscious mind, even after you've finished listening to this session, they will continue to have great influence over your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, and your actions, just as strongly, just as surely as that unconscious mind is listening to me now. That's right. And you are now so very deeply relaxed that every accessible thing that I tell you, everything that makes good sense to that unconscious part of your mind, will happen exactly as I said, because that's what you want. That's what you need, and that's right. It's what you desire. That's right. So now, as you grow in sobriety, you become much less preoccupied with self. You become more focused on who and what you want to be. Every day your nerves become stronger and steadier. Your mind becomes clearer, calmer, more composed, more serene, more tranquil. And you're much less agitated, much less anxious and fearful, much less reactive, and much more proactive, because you're now able to think more clearly, more able to concentrate easily, more able to give your whole undivided attention to what you are doing, almost to the complete exclusion of everything else, so that your mind improves as your memory improves, because you see things in their true perspective now, without magnifying. That's right, without minimizing. Every day you become much calmer, much more settled, much less easily disturbed. Every day you become more and more relaxed, and you remain less tense every day, both mentally and physically. That's right. More relaxed, less tense every day. And you develop much more confidence in yourself. Much more confidence in your ability to do what you ought to be able to do, without that old fear of failure, without that old fear of consequences, and certainly without that unnecessary anxiety. And because of all this, every day and in every way, you will feel more and more sober and dependable, more and more able to effectively manage and express your feelings, more and more able to be there for yourself and others, more and more able to be there for others. That's right. Every day, in every way, you feel a greater sense of well-being, a greater feeling of integrity and confidence than you have felt for a long, long time. And because these things will begin to happen exactly as I tell you, more rapidly, powerfully, and completely, you feel much happier, more content, and much more optimistic. Every day and every way, it grows stronger and stronger. That's it. Because you have a right to look the way you want to look, to be the way you want to be. And you know that as you get this image of you in sobriety and make it real now, your health will improve. That's right, your perfect health will improve. because your body needs and wants to support you. Because all parts of you need and want to support you. And so you release that body's natural ability to achieve perfect health. All systems working together. All systems working together exactly the way that they should be. Every day in every way it grows stronger and stronger. That's right, so that nothing can stop you. That's it. Progress, not perfection. And now I'd like you to take a moment of clock time. Just listen, relax, drift and dream, and allow that unconscious mind to replay this session over and over and over again there in your mind. Because your mind can do this instantaneously, hasn't it? It can replay this session 10 times in this moment automatically. And feel those suggestions repeat and repeat and repeat, haven't they? So take that moment now. That's it. Very good. Now, in a moment, I'm going to begin counting up from 5 to 1. As I reach the number 1, you can come back to the room fully awake and alert, as though you've had a nice long nap. 5 coming up, 4 drifting up, 3 halfway up, and 2 almost all the way up, glue melting off those eyes, and 1 all the way up, coming back to the room, back to your normal wakeful state, as though you've had a nice long refreshing nap. Very good.